what's up, LIRetro fans? Welcome back. I am Mike Staub here. I am the host of the LIRetro podcast, and I am here with LIRetro's chief preservationist, Mr. George Portugal. This guy is a wizard when it comes to fixing and repairing and doing amazing things with old hardware. George has actually helped me out quite a bit over the last few years. And today we are talking about another pickup we've had recently, and this is the Supergun. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Supergun is a device that allows us to essentially consolize old arcade boards through a Jamma connector or a Jamma connection on the arcade board, and I think George is better suited at giving you a rundown on what that actually means.
Yeah, I can happily go into the details here. So I got a couple of examples of arcade games, and so this is just an example of what they might look like. Sometimes they're much larger than this, sometimes they're much smaller than this, but the idea is that they would have this literally screwed into the cabinet, and then there's a little connector here. This is called a Jamma Edge connector, and so this gets all of the video and the controls and also sends all the inputs to the arcade monitor and receives power. And traditionally that's how a game looks and works, but it's been around for a long time, but people have been very interested in taking these games and being able to play them, not just in a big wooden cabinet, but also at home as well. Like, this is actually older than people realize. Like, Superguns have been around since maybe the mid or early 90s, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you could think of a Neo Geo as the earliest Supergun, where you're taking...
kind of like that mentality.
Yeah, it really is, where you're taking real arcade hardware and figuring out how to make it work on a television at home. So, let me just explain how it works. So, this is the arcade game known as X-Men, which was released by Konami in the early 90s. And so it's connected up to this little box here. And this is my minigun Supergun. And so that's what it's called, the minigun.
I love it.
Yeah. So the way that it works is, like I said, it's taking all of those video signals, it's all the control inputs, the sound, and it's coming into here. This is translating the video and the audio levels to something that's safe for televisions and for even a modern display, and it's sending it out using this connector here, and it's sending out RGB video. And so today what I'm doing is I'm using a PVM to take the RGB video and sound and just bring it to the CRT. But you could take this and bring it to a scaler, like for example like the RetroTink 5X or the open source scan converter, and you could convert that into something that's HDMI and use it with like a modern display.
Well, that's
too.
amazing. That's actually great. And for those of you who want to scratch that arcade itch, this really allows you to do it at home. And obviously, a lot of these games have been accessible over the years through digital storefronts, but nothing feels quite like playing X-Men on as close to original arcade hardware as possible.
That's right. And you'd be surprised too, even though emulation of arcades has been around for a long time, there's a lot that's left to be desired about arcade emulation. Like, there's a lot of games that just aren't quite accurate. Like, there's lots of ways to play X-Men, but you'll see if you're playing the real original and you're playing an emulated version, like the sound might be wrong, or the timing might be a bit off, or there might be some latency in terms of when you press the button and when something actually happens. And so you really don't get that. When you have this kind of setup, you've got the real hardware and you can experience it, at home. And so I'll talk a little about the controllers here. So the way that this works is it's using a Neo Geo interface.
Okay.
So you could actually take Neo Geo controllers and wire them up. But it's also easy enough to make these yourself. So actually, I made these myself. I just bought the parts from Amazon and just put them all together. And so you've got your coin button and your start, and then you've got 6 buttons. So that covers you for most games,
This
really.
is this type of stuff we're talking about with George being a wizard. He said this is easy. I don't think I could even put 2 buttons on one of these units and make it work. But because of this, you can play these classic arcade games, and it's really special. Like, look at how good this looks.
Yeah.
Like, really. You could really see, and hopefully the video's doing it justice, but we're kind of in awe of how amazing this looks right now. So now, George, my question is obviously this is something that's great to have. It's a great pickup for LIRetro on the Expo.
Right.
What are your plans for these moving forward?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different ideas with the Supergun. So I'm not the only person in the group that has one of these. So one of our colleagues, Chris, has one as well. And so, what's really nice about these is they're great for competitions. Yeah. So we could take our Capcom CPS2 boards and we could do like some Street Fighter competitions. We could potentially have other games like Mortal Kombat and
very nice.
And put that together as well. And yes, the Expo does have a whole bunch of arcades. We have 70 cabinets. But, this is a little bit more convenient, especially when you could take the display from a real arcade game and put it up on a massive LCD, like, like some 60-inch LCD screen. That way you've got a crowd and they can all kind of see the game happening. And again, it's not emulation, it's the real deal. And everyone's playing on these controllers, and you can have a really cool tournament at the expo with a setup like this.
And that's really great. Obviously, we love doing tournaments, and people out there still want to play X-Men. We also have, I think we have Ninja Turtles back here.
That's right.
We also have Sunset Riders. So we've got some of your favorite classic Konami arcade games here, like that whole era of the classic Konami beat 'em up.
Right.
These games are not nearly as fun by yourself, so it's
No.
great that you can hop in and play this with a couple of friends, especially when Magneto comes out and says "Welcome to Die," because it makes no sense.
Right.
But we love it. We love it, and we also love Pride of the X-Men, the cartoon it's based on. So you got some great plans for this. It'd be great for competitions.
Absolutely.
Everyone still loves playing Street Fighter 2, even though it's 30 years old, and
amazingly, yeah.
you're gonna have to deal with that, deal with
Right.
that knowledge. So this is a really great piece, George, and you've done some great work with it. And anything else? Can you enlighten us on anything else
Yeah.
in regards to the Supergun here?
I guess the only other thing I didn't mention, which is nice about this too, is it just opens up the possibility to have even more arcade games, because arcades are huge, like they're physically huge. They're just these big hulking things of wood, and they're like 600 pounds, and they take up a lot of room. And so, having a Supergun allows us to expand our library of games without having to figure out where they're all going to go, either out on the floor or, just after the show is over and we've got to figure out a place for all this stuff to go. So it definitely makes things a lot more convenient and gives us the opportunity to, let the public see lots of different stuff all at once.
That's amazing, and that's what we aim to do here, right? We aim to educate and show people just exactly why we love these old games and why they're important and why we need to hang on to them and preserve them. So it's amazing that we have our chief preservationist here to talk about this. So George, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you all for watching. Please stay tuned and like and subscribe and do all that stuff. And stay tuned to more stuff. We have tons of pickups coming, and we're literally in a room full of video games and video game consoles. So we got a lot of stuff coming for you in the future.
Thanks so much for tuning in with us, guys. Make sure you check us out online at LIRetro.com. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe. We'll see you soon.